good morning. I'm James with Focus Plumbing. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Is my van parked okay?
Sure.
It's my understanding that you have a plumbing issue this morning. Can I put on my floor savers and come inside?
Of course.
Our straightforward pricing guide breaks down your problem and shows you several options to best serve your needs.
Pow! Segment 2, live from Hill City, South Dakota, the semi-hometown of Danny Vegas.
Semi-hometown.
Yeah, it's a kind of funny story. You know, I was born and raised in San Diego, and, up until the 8th grade, I was skateboarding and loving my life on Saipan Drive right there in San Diego, and then my grandmother passed away. Now, we went up to the funeral, and, of course, it was the first time I've ever flown on a plane before, first time for a lot of things. And my grandfather, of course, couldn't even open up a can of beans. Because he'd
just
never done that before.
Relied on his honey to take care of him.
Yeah, that was the way it was. You know, you came home and ate, but at this point he was, kind of crippled, and he was old, and there was no way on a ranch he was going to take care of himself. So my parents, for some reason, said, I guess we'll just sell our house in San Diego and move up to South Dakota. So
wow, and that was it.
That was it. I literally went to the funeral on a Friday, and on Monday, I was told you're not going back to San Diego, and the bus to take you to Hill City High School will be here in a couple days, and it's a 28-mile trip to the school and 28 miles back.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because we lived on a ranch way up in the Black Hills, and holy cow.
I want to see pictures of you in shit kickers and a cowboy hat, my friend.
I didn't wear cowboy hats because, that we did have goat ropers. That was that movie, The Urban Cowboy, or whatever the hell they called that with John Travolta. What the hell was that movie called? I can't even remember.
Yeah, Urban Cowboy.
Yeah, so everybody was all into cowboy stuff then, and, I was from California.
But goat ropers?
The goat ropers were out there. Oh, my goodness gracious, they were out there. And I will tell you a story. I went from skateboards to, I remember the first time we drove into the parking lot of this high school, there were guns and gun racks and pickup trucks.
Libby, Montana.
And I really had a hard time for a while going there. But I will tell you, the 4 years that I was literally there, I still know a lot of my friends from there, and it was a magical, magical place for me.
Oh.
Once I kind of got in with the right clique of hunting and fishing, and my buddies, Craig Barfoot, Dave Olson, Steve Carlson, Perry Swift, and Joe Mahan, and all these guys that are all still alive, thank you very much. And
they
some
are.
of the gals.
You're
and
just barely hitting your prime, my friend.
Oh, boy, I'll bet. So, Hill City, South Dakota, the street that we're on, this is the main street.
I love it.
This is where we used to cruise the hot rods in the morning before school, and, and the little Nashville was there. Of course, it was 18 to drink back in those days.
Nice.
So as soon as I hit 18, which was in January, so I was still in high school.
Yeah.
And, of course, we made trips to Wyoming because that's where they sold Coors beer, and you couldn't get Coors in South Dakota at the time. So we used to go to Lusk, Wyoming to get the Coors and all that stuff. So this street that you're seeing behind us right here in Hill City, South Dakota, it's changed quite a bit. It's very artsy, touristy now.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a movie set.
Yes. Now, I will tell you, back in the 70s and 80s, it was more logging town than anything, and the sawmill is still there and still employing everybody. So
I feel like we're kindred spirits. You just described my hometown, only your main street looks a little more fancy and touristy.
I will tell you, it is about 20 minutes away from Mount Rushmore, so obviously the tourists just flood that town in the summer, and there's great art galleries now. Certainly the streets are clean now.
Yeah.
Like I said, back when I was there, the logging trucks would just go in, and I think they created a bypass for the logging trucks so they don't go down the middle of Main Street anymore. And I remember there was a business called Call of the Wild where this hunter literally took all his stuffed animals, stuffed trophies, and
His
you would have to
taxidermy.
pay to
Yeah.
go walk through this little business where you can look at all the stuffed bears and stuff like that. He's long gone, and you can buy art in there right now. So I just
Wow.
want to say hello to everybody in Hill City that's still there. Dana Coy is what I remember her from. She's still there. I don't know her last name now. She was just in town. Sorry, I missed you. Kay Bauer's still there, and all my friends. So
Wow, I love it.
The Lou Millers and the Vance Alexanders and the Coys and.
I just feel all that much closer to you now. You just
Yeah.
basically described my growing up in my hometown. Same thing. Logging industry used to be the big thing. The
Right.
sawmill, the lumber mill was big.
Right.
There was a fire in the mill, and lumber prices had issues.
Mm-hmm.
And now, how Libby survives, the number one industry is the Forest Service.
Right.
So it's government. And then after that, it's tourism.
Yeah.
So same thing. Now we don't have a Mount Rushmore, but we're close to Glacier National Park.
That's right.
And
Which is
that's
great.
and then Libby Dam, which is totally cool. It's
Which
a
is really great.
amazing engineering marvel. But
Well,
yeah,
anyway.
but you described my life.
I will tell you, probably our fans out there are probably yawning and just went to the bathroom for me talking for 6 minutes
no,
about Hill City, South Dakota.
our fans love it. Our fans and
Oh,
friends love
okay.
it. Maybe
All right.
people that are tuning in new are like, "What the heck is this show about?"
Well, anyway, like I said, what we're doing is we travel to a different spot in every segment because we can do that on WCOBM. Now, if I would have been smart, I would have called one of my friends to get on there. They do have Wi-Fi there, and they could have Skyped in.
Skype in and giving you a weather report. I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
cold as
snowy
hell,
and
I'm
beautiful.
sure. And so, yeah, I just love, I will tell you, and I'm going to keep going, and I know, hey, go to the bathroom if you don't like this, but I will tell you, those 4 years in Hill City, there was a lot of conflict in my mind. I came from California. The education in California was a year and a half behind what they were doing there. So I immediately just plummeted
Yeah.
educationally that in some ways still affect me today. But it was just magic. And I literally have to go back there once in a while just to
Yeah, you went back there last year, didn't you?
I went back there I think it was 2 years ago.
had a
It'll be
reunion?
summer. It'll be 2 years. We get together every 5 years. And it's just a magical place, man. The Black Hills of South Dakota is a magical place. I was lucky to know people that knew all the dirt roads and the loggers and stuff. And yeah, it was a magical time for me, man. I will never forget it.
Very, very cool. So for business owners that are
For
coming
business
on,
owners. For business owners, go to Hill City, South Dakota.
no. For business owners for coming on WCOBM, because you shared a piece of,
Right.
of your history, which I love. I think that's totally cool. I can't believe how long we've known each other, that
Yeah.
we haven't compared small town stories yet. But what's cool about this feature, changing the backdrop
Right.
in this green screen studio with the great sound, the great video, the great quality, all of that. If you've got a business that, we want to bring Club Pilates back and put them inside of the Club Pilates studio,
We can do that.
we can do that. So
We can literally do a segment from inside their studio. We can do a segment anywhere. I mean, this what's so cool about being a professional standard, okay? You can go anywhere. You can have backdrops with your brand on there. We can do so much, just so much.
Yeah, bringing in guests from all over the world with Skyping in.
That's right, up to 10 people at one time.
Yeah.
Which we've never tried before. We've had 4, but we can literally. I can talk about South Dakota. I can be in South Dakota, and I can Skype someone in from South Dakota.
I want to do a Skyping thing next time I come on next month.
Okay.
Let's find some friends and a good topic to come in and have a roundtable discussion
Okay.
on WCOBM.
I got to find some ham that would love to come on my show. Them South Dakota boys, they're all kind of shy, unless you're
That's
cleaning
right.
a gun or something. So
That's right. Unless you're going to be talking about it in the bar.
maybe we can get old. I was going to say get old. Maybe we can get my friend Kay Bauer. She's kind of a mouth that loves to talk. Maybe we'll get her on there. I got a great story about her anyway.
All right. Cool. Very cool. All right.
All right.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Danny.
No problem. I'm sorry, everybody in the Danny Vegas world. You had to go back in time, and I had to get all into this
All right,
stuff.
it's
But
good.
we're going international next segment, so stick around for that.
Ooh.
We're going to end a little early for segment 3 right after this.